one thing and do it well. I remember a meeting early in my career where a prospective client said, tell me what your company does. And I went off on a 15-minute monologue of this and a little bit of that and some more of this, and very quickly into that one-sided discussion I realized I'd lost the person's attention. And ultimately the response to me was, that's a lot of things, Arthur. How are you any good at any of those? So my bruised ego aside, it was a thought-provoking comment. The more I've progressed in business and the more complex our capabilities here at Hillview Partners have become, the more simply we can define what we do. Example of our company, we help privately held family entrepreneur and small investment group-owned companies generating $400,000 to $4 million in EBITDA to sell their business or to secure capital. 2 sentences. So whenever we meet with people, whether it's people who are looking to buy companies, people who are looking to sell companies, capital providers or capital recipients, the same question. Tell me what your company does. And what we find with our clients is it can be very well defined. We provide X to an end user base of Y in this particular niche to obviate, assuage, or solve the pain of Z. Whether it's a service or whether it's some other sort of offering, it's the same equation every time. We focus on X cohort, we provide this product or service, it solves this problem for these people, and therefore they compensate us as such in whatever structure that might be. I believe it was a Buffett quote that he had said, diversification insurance against ignorance. But I heard someone take that a step further and to say the lack of ignorance or the specialization in something is what creates real wealth. So true, if you're just going to throw money out there and you don't have a particular area or niche of specialization, you're just going to try to ride the wave of American or global capitalism. But if you can specialize in one thing, if you have information, knowledge, capabilities that others do not have, you're going to have a means of generating and compounding wealth at a far greater rate. I remember in the early days of our business saying to my partner, I've got 10 different things that we're doing. How do we get excellent at all of these things? How do we succeed? There's not enough hours in the day to be excellent in all these things. I remember she said, well, if you just focused on one of them, do you think you could be excellent at it? I remember saying, well, of course. Yeah, it'd be a piece of cake and I don't have all these distractions. She said, well, why don't you focus on one of them? And that's how we can start things and then progress from there. So look, as a business grows, there are adjacencies, there are complementary services, products, there's offerings that make sense to add in. And so when I say one thing, do one thing and do it well, it can be a very tight bundle or basket of these things, but it has to have some logical interplay between one another or some complementary components to it. So the last quote of the day is, I don't remember if it was Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or whoever it might be, but I believe the quote said, I'd be more afraid of someone who practiced one kick 1,000 times than 1,000 kicks once. However, I'm butchering that. The concept is the iterations of focusing on a very narrow area of specialization or expertise is what ultimately yields premier expertise, what ultimately leads optimal outcomes. And so that's the notion here. It's taken us years to learn it, and we continue to learn it, and we continue to fine-tune, and we've been able to be very successful in doing so. The notion is do one thing and do it well. So that's the thought for today. Keep pushing forward. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.